What meal you want, boo? Because I can cook it. Because I got time. We got space. I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not stressed about nothing. What you want to eat? Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Kia, also known as Confidently Kia on Instagram, confident with a K. And I'm back for my second video. I just want to let y'all know I'm enjoying sharing with y'all, if I'm being completely honest. So today is a conversation that I feel like we all need to have. And it is how we, as a group of adults, have stopped at therapy. And when I say stopped at therapy, I mean we have run with therapy, right? Like therapy is it. We about to get rid of these, you know, address these traumas, um, gather the tools that we need to deal with the people. Like if nobody else has done it, we have done it. But you can't stop there. You cannot stop there. I'm here to tell you that it goes beyond therapy. It goes beyond your psychiatrist, medication. It's beyond that. I need y'all to start looking at your space, the space you call home, the space you and your family live in, the space y'all sleep in, the space you cook in. Because a lot of the clutter and the gathering of things is probably contributing to your anxiety and your stress. You want to know how I know? Because it was contributing to mine. It was. I am a control freak. Outsourcing things is very hard for me because I have an issue with relinquishing control, right? So, outsourcing cleaning, I always felt like they're not going to do what I need them to do, or they don't know where the stuff goes, or they don't this, or they don't that, boop, 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 right? Or outsourcing laundry. I'm always like, no, we got it, we got it, we got it. I don't want nobody touching our stuff. We got it, we got it, we got it. And we got it, we got it, we got it causes me a lot of stress, a bunch of attitudes, a lot of curse words. And it's on me, right? I looked at myself and I said, it's on me. I'm telling you not to stop at therapy because you also have to look at the space where you and your family reside and understand that clutter contributes to stress and anxiety. Your inability to find and locate things, you having to go through unnecessary junk drawers and all of that is causing you or contributing to some of your mental health issues. And I'm not saying that being judgmental because your girl deals with the things. And as someone who has dealt with stress, anxiety, depression, I recognize how your space can contribute to that constant anxiousness, that constant worry. Like your brain literally never shuts off, right? I'm not telling you nothing I don't know, sis. I'm there. I got to the point where I realized that every time I walked in a certain space in my home, I just got an attitude. Like it's I, my attitude was stank, and I knew it. But I thought I was addressing it. Like I thought that once I put it on the calendar, I plan to do X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna get it done. It's gonna be good. even when I did it, because my mind wasn't always there, because there's literally always something to do, I don't think I was able to be real with myself about the things that I had, what I needed to get rid of, and what was clutter. Okay? I, I wasn't being real with myself. But I also wasn't allowing the people in my home to throw the things away. And so, because I felt like I needed it and it was an emotional attachment for me, I'm keeping it. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. And until I couldn't do it no more. Until I just, when I started walking in my house and I was anxious every time I hit the door because it's time to cook. Now I gotta go through pots and pans that, if I'm being honest with you, I have yet to use. Pots and pans that I collected from starting from college when I was living in Greensboro, North Carolina. Some of the pots and pans were my great grandmama's, my grandmama's, things that have sentimental value that I needed to keep, that I wanted to keep. But if I was gonna keep them, I should be using them. Like, if they were that important, they should be used, right? They don't belong in a museum. They should be used, not collecting dust, right? I already had the company in mind. I already knew who I was going to use. It was just, when was I going to use them? Because I had to be real with myself. When I call these folks in here to do their job, right? I had to be real with myself and say, and it's like a therapy session. Therapy. It's literally therapy. You know, the first time you go see your therapist and they start to ask you all the things and all the things you've experienced in life, and you start to get a knot in your stomach because you're like, I have never revealed these things. I ain't told nobody these things. Like, ain't nobody ever made me address these things. This was the same thing. This was a full-fledged therapy session, and I hadn't even booked my cleaning yet. In order for me to be successful in the other areas of my life, or even to focus on the other areas of my life and really put time and effort into them, I'm gonna have to get this space together. This space we call home. I'm gonna have to get it together, and I need help. I knew it was time for me to call in a cleaner, a declutterer. I had to, because I don't listen to nobody else. Real talk. I don't listen to nobody else. So I reached out to a cleaning company and I said I need a consultation. And it was like I was calling my therapist for my first session because I experienced trauma. Like, that's how I felt when I requested a consultation. We do a walkthrough on the house. I let them know what rooms that I needed them to do. I'm on their heels. Because and the questions I'm being asked, y'all, most of them I can't even explain to the person why I was keeping it. Like, I had a cast iron skillet specifically for cornbread. It's vintage, but it was in triangles. And I know I haven't used it since I was at tea. I was cooking at tea. I had stamps at tea. We was cooking Sunday dinners. I was cooking and I was feeding my friends. But I promise you I haven't used that pot since then. I went to North Carolina A&T between 2002 and 2006. It is 2025. I have not used the pot. And it has moved with me from Atlanta to Greensboro to Texas, back here. We go through and I'm getting asked questions about things that I really had not thought about. For instance, she opens a closet and she says, "Kid, do you entertain a lot?" And I was like, "No, no, I don't. If you know me, you know I don't entertain a lot. No, no, no." I said, "Why you ask?" She said, "Why you got two crock pots?" I don't know how to answer that. The only answer I can give is just in case one of them breaks. That's all I got. And mind you, y'all, I don't cook with crock pots often. I might use a crock pot two, maybe three times a year, if that. And the crock pot that I use is not the newer one. It's the older one that I had since I was at A&T. That's the best. Everything old is always the best. Why I have another one, I don't know. But I don't want to get rid of it. It feels like the session, the time that when you go to therapy and your therapist is asking you about these certain relationships that are probably hindering you or causing you to feel some kind of way, and you can't really address why the relationship still exists. Like, you don't really have real words for it. This is how I felt about the majority of the things, especially in my kitchen. My kitchen is my place of peace, but my kitchen had a lot of shit. Stuff from my great grandmama, my grandmama, my mama, and me. Because my great grandmama and my grandmama bought good pies. Those are the best pies. The ones I bought are probably the ones that need to be trashed. But I never addressed this. Like, this was never a thing that I truly addressed. I would purge how I saw fit. I would get rid of some of the things, but I never got rid of all the things. So after we went through the closets and all of that, I said, okay, I'm a book. I'm a book it. I'm a book it. The 2 weeks in between booking or my consultation and the actual service, I was anxious the whole time. Like, I was around the house trying to figure out what can I get rid of before they get here. So I don't have to address it with somebody else. So I don't have to have the conversation with somebody else. What can I get rid of? I was successful at purging my closet, which is also our guest room. I was successful at that because that was one of the places where I didn't want to get dressed. I couldn't find nothing. I didn't know what was top and what was bottom. That's how much stuff was in there. After I purged that, I had two 55-gallon bags for her when she got here of my clothes and shoes that I should have got rid of a long time ago. I don't know the last time I wore some of them shoes. And I can tell you the last time I wore some of them clothes. It's before I had a baby. Because after I had a baby, my body changed. And being honest, I really didn't have the desire to wear the stuff that I wore before being a mom, right? And then after pregnancy, and I started back lifting and I started back building muscle, I still couldn't wear the shit. It wouldn't go over my kneecap. It wouldn't go. Why? If it did not go over my thigh, never made it to my butt, why do I still have it? I don't even plan on being back that size. I'm not doing the work to be back that size, if I'm being real with you. My purpose of working out is not always for aesthetics, it's for the mental. And I want to be strong as hell. Other than that, I have no intentions of going back down to the size I was pre-pregnancy. If I had those kinds of intentions, I would be actively working on it, and I'm not. Okay? So it should have been gone. I was living around it. Like, I would rehang it, put it in another space, fold it up, put it, but it was not being used. I.e., it was cluttered. So the day of my cleaning, um, I was that whole 2 weeks I was dreaming about, like, my home being decluttered and what was I okay with getting rid of and what I was nervous about getting rid of, and you know what I could immediately make a decision on, and what, like, this was going through my mind for 2 weeks. And then the day came. And the day came, it's like my first visit to my therapist. I had to say, okay, now it's time for me to, like, this is it. This is it. I'm investing this. I'm gonna make sure that I am ready for this. They at the door. So now we gotta do this. And the way that I chose the company, they showed the work that they were doing. They discussed tips and tricks. They showed their hard work in marketing their business. They also showed that they genuinely cared about their customer. I didn't want somebody coming into my home that was only here for a check. I don't like those kinds of services. I don't care what kind of service you're providing me. I don't like being just a check. Like if I'm this is like my therapist. If I'm calling you because I need you, it's because I actually need you. Because I couldn't do this by myself. Because I couldn't come to terms with some of this stuff by myself. Because I couldn't wrap my head around doing this myself. So if I call you, I need you. And if I'm calling you, it's because I trust that you can do the work. Okay. So the way I chose the company, Green Label Cleaning, is because I saw the work that they were doing. I knew I was going to give them a call. I had to be ready. It's like somebody going to treatment. You have to be ready in order for it to work. People can pour into you all day. All day. You can pay the monies to go to therapy all day. You can take all the medications. But if you are not ready for change, keep your money. Don't call for help. Don't go see the therapist. Because the shit ain't going to work. Deep cleaning was amazing, or is amazing, because it's still nice. And yeah, it's still nice in these rooms. But the way the decluttering worked was they went through every cabinet, every drawer, every closet, determine what had been used, what had not been used. Would send a pic. I would thumbs up or thumbs down. Yes, I need it. No, I don't. They don't, it's no conversation. It's, are you using it? Are you not? Do you need it? I need you to think about this. Do you need it or do you not need it? And that was the discussion we had before I even left. I don't want conversation. I'm telling you, if it's dust on it, it's a problem. And so when I left the house, I said, okay, Kia, you got to be ready for this. You got to be ready. And I was ready. There was a time when we were FaceTiming, and this is when we got to the pots and pans. I did not realize how much of an emotional connection I had to pots and pans, because your girl be cooking. But the attachment to these pots and pans were because they were my great grandmamas or my grandmamas that were good pots and pans. And then I had the flimsy ones that I bought in college or after college or something like that that I really didn't use. So I had to make the decision, am I keeping these or am I keeping these? And of course I'm gonna keep the good vintage ones, the ones that actually cook well, the ones that don't burn, the ones that like give make your food taste amazing. Of course I'm gonna keep them. But I had to out loud say why I needed to keep this and why I needed to throw this away. I had to say this out loud to myself before she even got to me. At one point, we're in the store and I had to sit down because I was like, this feels like my first therapy session when I am spilling my guts. And then she turns around and says, so how does that make you feel? That's how this felt. But after making the decision, there was like a weight that lifted off my shoulder. Every decision I made was like a weight that lifted off my shoulder. Every clutter just leaving my mind. Mind you, I'm physically not here, but it's like clutter leaving my mind every time I gave the go ahead to throw that away or get reacquainted with stuff that I couldn't find because I was looking for that colander. I was looking for this. I was looking for that. She said, I know, because it was so far back, you couldn't find it. You right, you right, you right. I'm with you when you're right. So we decluttered the kitchen and then to the bathrooms and the bathroom closet, which was a Mm. And then the child's room. All the spaces that were causing me stress when I walked in the door. I say not to stop at therapy because we get the tools to deal with the people. We get to the tools to address the traumas. It is not always everybody else's fault that you stressed and anxious. It's not. Sometimes you really got to look at you, sis. And you got to look at the space around you and say, does this space give me peace? Or when I open my eyes, does this space create chaos in my mind? Am I anxious when I walk in a room because I don't even know where to start? Like I know how to deal with other people, but I ain't addressed what I got going on at home, which is them unwashed clothes. And you ain't washed them because when you wash them, then you gotta dry them, then you gotta fold them, then somebody gotta put them up. So it's easier for them to be in a dirty clothes hamper because that's where dirty clothes go. Once you clean them, they don't go back in the hamper. Once you clean them, they gotta be washed and they gotta be put up. But you also need space to put them up. I'm not telling you nothing I don't know. This is something that I've lived with, and I'm continuing wrapping my brain around. How do I change my mindset? How do I change my mindset around the things that we now bring into the home? Now that we've decluttered and cleaned the home, we can't go back to square one. So when I go shopping, am I shopping for the things that I actually need, or if am I buying it because it's on sale and I can't pass that up? Because Target did their big one and showed us who they really are, I've been keeping my coins and keeping the mess out of my house. I'm going to shop. I'm going to go stroll through Home Goods and TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and sometimes that they got clutter too, so that sometimes that's not as peaceful as we would like, but I'm going to buy the things, but I have to question and ask myself before I bring them in the home, is it going to cause clutter, or will it contribute to the aesthetic or the need of the home? These are questions I'm asking myself. When my child's aunties and uncles and godmama send stuff, mail stuff, addressed to a 4-year-old full of toys, we have to make the decision, are we keeping these? And if we're keeping these toys, what toys are we getting rid of? We have to be intentional about the things that we allow in our space. Because the clutter was probably causing me more stress and anxiety than anything else recently, because I couldn't think about anything else. I literally could not focus on the other things because every time I walked in the house, I was frustrated. I had a whole attitude. And with whom, I don't know. It was just the attitude. Like I stank because I couldn't get rid of shit. But now we're here, right? We're here. We didn't stop at just therapy. We made the decision to go beyond therapy because it's more than therapy. Like we need therapy. Therapy is essential for our health. But look beyond your therapist and look at yourself. It's not always somebody else's. It's not always somebody else. Sometimes it's you in your space. Sometimes it's when you look around in your vanity, you can't find your makeup, you can't find this concealer, you can't find this lipstick because you need to get rid of some of the shit. Telling you because that was me. I only wear 2 to 3 lips. I'm not even a lipstick girl like that no more. Like I'm gonna put on a red, and I got several reds. But all the other ones, why do I still have them? I don't know if I'm saving them for costume day or what, because I don't even wear them. But I had them. Like you really got to sit down and look within and look around. It's more than just therapy that's causing you stress and anxiety. It's that house. It's that kitchen. I dreaded cooking. I dreaded bringing groceries home because it was like, now I got to figure out where to put them. I would have somewhere to put them if I would remove all the unnecessary stuff, remove the stuff we're not using, removing the seasons that I don't even like no more. I don't even like that flavor. Why I got it? Green Label Cleaning helped me to realize that they it. When I say it was a whole therapy session, almost a 12-hour therapy session about my things that I had not gotten rid of in over 20 years. And the kind of peace it has brought me is peace that I couldn't even imagine, if I'm being honest with you. It's peace that I never knew would actually come. Because I always thought that I would be like on this hamster wheel of it's always something to do with it. And granted, it's always something to do, but I want to do it in a peaceful space, in a space that brings me peace, right? I want to do it where I don't have to move this, and this to do this. And it doesn't matter how pretty it's packaged, right? It doesn't matter. Some people's clutter is everywhere, all over the floor, all over everywhere. You walking over stuff, it's just nasty. That's that's more than clutter. That's just nasty. Some people's clutter is in little pockets, right? Or in little rooms where you put this for later and it just starts to build and collect and then it gets to a point to where you're like, now you're overwhelmed. That was me. That was my clutter. That's what some of what a lot of what was causing me stress and anxiety when I walked through this door on a regular basis. I am forever grateful for one. I'm thanking me for really coming to terms with you got to get rid of some of this stuff and you need help. I'm proud of me. I'm also grateful for a company that provides a service that does a damn good job at what they do. They are timely, professional, and real with the customer, right? Providing feedback to the customer. I was the customer. I needed feedback. I needed tips on when you clean this, when you get this clean, how do I maintain it? I need you to tell me. I need all the things. Okay. My advice to the parents that are frustrated with kids with junky spaces or cluttered spaces, did you look at the rest of the house? Have you looked at the rest of the house? Because real talk, you can't blame them kids for a junky room when your house junky. Because who they learn from? Check yourself first. Check yourself first. Your healing is beyond therapy. It's not just therapy that's going to get you there. Check your spaces. Check your spaces. I have never had the kind of peace that I have walking through this door. I needed more than somebody. I needed somebody that was going to do more than I did on a regular basis. I didn't need you to just wipe down my counter and make my kitchen smell good and mop my floor. I can do that. I need you to get to the places that I probably don't even know exist right now. That's how my brain is working. I don't know exist right now. I need you to do what you do best. And they did. And the kind of peace it has provided me has allowed me a better night's sleep, if I'm being honest with you. A more peaceful wake up when I wake up in the morning to get ready to go to the gym and get my child ready. A more peaceful dinner time because it's easy. The basics are now easy because I'm not fighting over the clutter. So it's easy. What meal you want, boo? Because I can cook it. Because I got time. We got space. I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not stressed about nothing. What you want to eat? Is how I respond. Now, if you liked this video, if you liked the information, if it made you think about, you know what, maybe I need to look around left and right, then like, share, comment, and subscribe. Send it to your people. Send it to your people that you know need to get it together. Okay? Invest in your home. Send it to the people that you know need to invest in their home. Who always got an attitude. They always got an attitude because they house nasty. I ain't judging nobody. But it's time to get it together. And because I got it together, I wanted to tell you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining on my second video. I'll be back. Y'all have an awesome day. Bye.